I just want to say that I am so proud of you. You have made such a good decision to invest this time in yourself today and listen to the PowerFemme podcast. And if there is one thing I know about you, it's this. You have big, incredible ideas. Maybe it's a book that you've been dreaming about. Maybe it's a business you want to start. Maybe it's a project that's been on your heart for years, and maybe it's been far longer than you'd like to admit, and you haven't taken any action because you don't know where to start. And that is why I am so excited to reintroduce my one-on-one life coaching sessions. Did you know that coaching is a lot like doing your hair? I want you to imagine that you're trying to put your hair in the perfect bun, but you don't have a mirror. You can feel your way through, you can kind of try to twist it into place, but you don't really know how it looks. Then you get a mirror, obviously, right? But now it's one of those handheld mirrors. And so you're trying to hold the mirror in one hand and then you're trying to fix your hair with the other. And it's awkward. It's almost impossible. But what if someone else held the mirror for you? Even better, what if they pointed out the flyaways that you couldn't see, or maybe there was an angle that you missed, maybe there were some tweaks that actually made it work? That is exactly what a life coach does. They hold the mirror for you. They help you see what you can't see on your own. One of my clients, Haley, is the perfect example. I remember one specific session where I pointed out a blind spot that she wasn't seeing, and that one conversation changed everything. She ended a relationship that should have ended long before she walked away from it, let's be honest. And she ended up leaving her small town home, which she had lived in her whole life, and moved to New York City. This was a dream that she had always had, but it wasn't something that she really thought was possible. And from there, just so much momentum happened for her. She built her career, she's thriving. And this past summer, she literally got married in Italy. Okay? I mean, hello, she's living her best life. That is the power of working with a life coach. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to meet your soulmate after one session, but what I can tell you is that your life will start to open up for you in ways that you never could have even imagined. It's not about having the right 10 steps or a perfect game plan. Sometimes it's just about having one conversation that changes the trajectory of your life. Research from a recent study at UCLA found that people who write down their goals and share them with someone and have regular accountability check-ins are 42% more likely to achieve them than those who keep their goals to themselves. Listen, not all conversations are created equal, and not everyone should be trusted with your dreams and your heart's desires. That is exactly why you will love working with a life coach. Creating a life that you are so proud of is what you want, isn't it? You don't have to figure it all out on your own, and you don't have to wait until you feel ready. You just need the courage to invest in yourself and do it in a safe place where you can bring your ideas to life. Just imagine what could shift for you in the next 90 days, or even just in one powerful conversation. It's time for you to look in the mirror and finally see things that you haven't been able to see on your own. When you work alongside of a coach, you get the perspective that makes those blind spots really visible, so you can bring your vision to life without wasting years second guessing yourself. Because let's be honest, you don't want to build the life of your dreams and then realize from behind it looked like a messed up hairdo. Do you? I don't think so. So the link is in the show notes. It's time to see yourself clearly and take the next step towards creating a life you've always wanted.
You're listening to PowerFemme Radio. This is a podcast where ladies come together and try to share their opinions and empower each other to be better women in society.
Did he just say try? You're listening to PowerFemme, where women don't try, we do. Hello, PowerFemmes, and welcome back to the PowerFemme Podcast. I'm so glad that you are here today. I want to speak to the creative woman. If you are listening to this, chances are you probably are a creative woman. I feel like there's one thing that we can totally agree on, and that is when you are a creative person, when you are somebody who has big dreams, it can literally feel like your life force has been cut off when you aren't showing up every day and when you aren't basically given the chance to work in a way that is aligned with how you were created. Any time in my life that I have had to take a job where it's like I'm working and I have to be there all day and I feel like it's not lighting me up, I feel like I'm not using my gifts, I'm not in my power, I'm not in my creativity, it feels suffocating. It's like a universal truth that exists for all artists. And the truth is, when you're forced to work in a way that isn't in alignment with your highest self, your best self, it can feel stifling. It can feel debilitating. It can feel like you are breaking a promise to yourself. It can feel like you're compromising like who you know you were meant to be. And the truth is, like, you literally have an inner knowing that is so subtle and yet so loud that literally screams, I was meant for more. And so if that's you, like, please let me know, because I know that like I cannot be the only person who feels this way. I've had so many conversations with women over the years who have literally said that they feel the exact same way. And so I want to honor and recognize that it's like such a gift to be able to create in that way and to be able to show up in that way. And it's not something that I take lightly. I'm so grateful to my past self for creating this podcast, because it certainly gives me the space to show up and create. Being an actress for so many years, over 20 years, I was so fortunate for so many years to get scripts weekly and become these new characters. And I think it's no secret that my industry, for sure, as an artist, has definitely suffered a little bit in the last few years, and the auditions have been far and few between. And so like not having somebody bring a script to me and give me a reason to be creative and use my craft has been an interesting challenge. And I know that I'm not the only one who's had to get scrappy with my creativity. And here's the thing about artists, okay? We have to create. You have to use your creativity and express yourself, because the opposite of expression is depression. And what happens with creatives and artists is when we are not outwardly expressing ourselves and taking our art and putting it out into the world, what happens is we turn our eyes almost inward and we start to kind of self-destruct. We start to look for reasons why we're not good enough. We start to believe those lies, and it's never a good place for an artist. And so whether or not you're listening to this and you identify as an artist, if you're somebody who seems to self-destruct, I just want to say, like, that could be a surefire sign that you are craving creativity, that you need to do something. There's a muscle inside of you that is dying to be put to work, and something needs to come out of you. And so if you've been depressed, I can't recommend enough really finding ways to express yourself through art, or even just through your emotions, and like really having conversations with people and doing what lights you up, finding ways to ignite that inner spark yourself and not waiting for somebody else to come and spark it up for you, if that makes sense. I've had quite the life shift in these last few months, and there's something that has really stuck out to me through this lesson, and I'm going to get into this in just a moment, but I just want to say that the thing that I've realized, my lesson of this summer, has been that sitting down and being intentional and making a habit of just being willing to create and being open to being creative, that will literally move mountains and change your entire life. It will literally increase your magnetism, and it will bring you opportunities that you never knew existed. And so what do I mean when I say that? Are you someone who has known for a very long time that you've wanted to write a book? Are you someone who has known for a very long time that you want to start a business or start your blog, or you want to be an actor or a performer, or you want to write a script, or you want to be an artist, or you just want to paint, or you want to start selling clothes that you've made at the farmer's market? Like, is that you? Are you sitting on an idea that is dying to come out of you? What I'm trying to tell you is that when you say yes to just being open to being the vessel and bringing that thing to life, no matter how small the action is, you become a literal magnet. That is what's possible for you when you show up to your art. People will come out of the woodworks. Ideas will snowball into bigger ideas, and the right circumstance and time and magic and energy that needs to come through will come through, but it's waiting for you to say yes to it. Like I said, this has been a major life-changing season for me. It's been a season of pruning, really cutting away, not just like rosebuds, dead rosebuds, but this has been a season of like cutting off literal branches in my life, letting go of relationships that aren't serving me, projects that I spent years building, being so laser focused about where I'm putting my energy, and recognizing that, you know, just because I've been doing something for a long time doesn't mean that that's what I need to continue to do if there's no energy coming back to me. And what's been so rewarding and so fascinating has been showing up to my creativity and my art even when there's no payoff in sight. Okay, so it's kind of like, I think in life we do things transactionally. It's, oh, I'm going to show up to this so that this happens. I'm going to have this conversation so that this person wants to work with me. I'm going to build this business so that I can make money. I'm going to take this nap so that I feel rested, right? And the weird, beautiful thing about art is that there's never really a clear payoff other than you expressed it and you did it and you created this thing. And so it's been interesting to show up to this new calling that has been birthed out of a massive undoing and unbecoming, and there has been no clear payoff in mind. And the thing that I'm like dying to share with you that I can't really share with you is just that I've been creating a lot of my own art, and I haven't been waiting for somebody to bring me that art. I think the thing that we all forget is that we literally don't know what's next ever. We are meant to live in the revealing. We're meant to allow life to surprise us. And we get so caught up in controlling and needing and wanting to control the narrative and control how things are going to go and control other people and control when our blessings are coming. And the truth is, with creativity or entrepreneurship or even just your life in general, like your love life, even anything, you never know what's on the other side of taking action. You never know. And so the thing that like I want us all to get so familiar with and comfortable with is the idea that there may not be a payoff, or there could be a payoff that's far better than we ever could have imagined. And just leaning into that trust and that magic that will unlock so much for you. I know right now the landscape of the world is messy. It's a wild time. I don't even want to say too much about it because there are other places where you can go to look into what's happening in the world. But what I will say is that it can almost feel rebellious or defiant. I know as a business owner and from all of the entrepreneurs that I've been having conversations with, it's like, how do I show up on social media, or how do I talk about my art, or how do I talk about my business when the world is falling apart? Like, this used to be a place where I advertised. This used to be a place where social media was a place where I would connect with my friends. And now it feels like a place where people are constantly fighting and arguing, and it doesn't feel responsible to create art. It doesn't feel responsible to post something positive and uplifting. Like how dare I do something like that when the world feels so dark? And that is actually something that I did want to touch on in this episode, because the thing about art and creativity is that it's so necessary in a time like this. Like, it should feel rebellious to post something positive. It should feel rebellious to not put on your armor and to not fight back, but instead to take that energy and put it towards something productive and creative and positive. That is one of the most powerful things that you can do, not only for yourself and your own personal healing, but for the world. Okay. I just want to remind you all that, like, art has been needed in some of the worst, most tragic times in the world, and art is the very thing that has healed so many people. And so if that has been you, I just want to give you the ultimate permission slip to create anyways, and to be defiant, and to not fall into the trap that, let's be honest, has been so well designed to make us oppose each other. Like, I just keep thinking of the song from the Black Eyed Peas, Where's the Love, And I love that song so much. But hello, that song is art. It's like, how can we make art out of what's happening now? How can we take these feelings of frustration and anxiety and fear and turn it into a message or turn it into a movement and make people feel something? And that's really why I wanted to record this podcast episode, was because I really wanted to help you renew your mindset around honoring your creativity and honoring what lights you up and honoring your truth and honoring your art. And I wanted to give you a framework to really allow yourself to let the art come through so that you don't have to feel like you're holding on to your good ideas or that you're waiting for the perfect moment. And like I said earlier, the opposite of expression is depression. And so this framework is going to really help you do just that. Express yourself so you can become a literal magnet and feel something good in such a time of uncertainty. Trust me when I say, when you start to apply these principles that I'm about to tell you about, you are going to see how divine it all is and how sacred your ideas are and how God is so in the details and you are not alone. And there's a very specific reason why you were given these ideas, these little nudges to create those impulses. And when you follow them, I promise you the reason why they were given to you will be revealed to you, and it's magical. I do want to say, if that scares you, that's a really good thing. Okay? Because I know that it could feel almost irresponsible. It's like, wait, but I don't have the time to create art, or like I literally have no business making this painting, or I literally have no business writing that book or writing this script or starting a podcast. Like I literally don't even have the money, or I don't have the agents, or I don't have the representation, or nobody's giving me a reason to show up. Like this feels literally irresponsible. Like I should be doing something more productive with my time. But what if the most productive thing you could do was just sit your butt down in a chair and create your art? I think it is the most productive thing you can do. That's definitely something that I've seen through my own creativity this summer. And so this framework is going to help you finally stop waiting for one day, finally stop waiting to be chosen, waiting to be anointed by somebody else. It's time for you to start walking into the room like God sent you, and you need to own this, and you need to own that your ideas were given to you for a reason. So let's dive in. This episode is sponsored by Dolce Do, my favorite luxury skincare line and the secret behind my glow up. I've been using Dolce Do religiously for over a year and the results are undeniable. My friends constantly ask what I've done to my skin because it has been a full transformation. If you struggle with dryness or early signs of aging like I did, then this is your sign. I am obsessed with the Dolce Blue makeup remover. It melts literally everything off and it leaves your skin feeling baby soft. The glass skin pads give you an instant smooth, dewy glow. And the Be Still Peptide Serum is literally Botox in a bottle. Dolce Do is your answer to glass skin, deep hydration, and firm, radiant glow. No needles, no injections, just skincare that actually works. It's skincare that feels like self-love, and it delivers. PowerFemme listeners get 15% off your entire order with code PowerFemme at checkout. Go to dolcedo.com and use code PowerFemme and treat your skin the way it deserves to be treated. Code PowerFemme gets you 15% off of your full Dolce Do order. I want you to remember this belief, okay? The more irresponsible or defiant it feels for you to create in a time of uncertainty, the more important it is for you to do it anyway. When you say yes to creating your art, you become a magnet. I am telling you, and you can thank me later, you become a literal magnet. I posted a poll on my Instagram stories this week asking people what feels like it gets in the way of your creativity and making your art. And some of you said things like, it's not a priority. like I want to create, but I haven't made it a priority. Some of you have said like, who am I to write a book? It's like the whole imposter syndrome lie that we tell ourselves. And then of course I heard the classic, I don't have time or I don't have permission. And if that's you, I just want you to know that I have also felt that at so many stages in my career, whether it was my business or even this podcast or, working on the project that I've been working on. And I just want you to know that that is literally the most normal thing. I don't think that any artist, actor, singer, entrepreneur hasn't felt that way. And that is the surefire sign that like you're doing something big. You're doing something noble. You're doing something that needs to be done or has yet to be done. You're walking the path that is less followed. And that is not only normal to feel those things, it's courageous. And so if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I just need more time, or I just need money, or I just need the representation, or I just need to know the right person. No, you don't. You don't need any of that. What you need is courage. You need the courage to create, and that is literally it. I actually looked up the word defiant because as I say all of those things, I'm aware that like feeling defiant in creating can feel very rebellious. And so I want to encourage you to be defiant. When I first heard the word defiant, like it's something that I think of as like almost bad. Like it's bad. It's bad to defy. It's bad to be rebellious. And the thing that I want you to really understand is the actual meaning of defiance. The definition of defiance is boldly resisting, challenging, or refusing to obey what is expected. It's a form of resistance characterized by a challenging or rebellious attitude, and it can sometimes be a healthy expression of independence. And so if me encouraging you to be defiant ruffles some feathers, that's totally okay. I just want you to possibly reframe your relationship with the word defiance and maybe even the action of defiance, because as women, we are so encouraged to go with the flow and be very agreeable. And so I just want to encourage you as a woman to like really lean into your defiance and speak your truth and create anyway. And if that feeling does come up in you, that's the sign that like you should be defiant, that you should create. Let me ask you this one question. Are you ready? What if you are the perfect person to write that book? What if you are the perfect person to start that business? What if that movie or TV show can only come through you? What if now was the perfect time for you to take action? What if now, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are, what if now was the perfect time for you to start writing and pick up the pen, or start accepting clients, or start posting on social media? What if now was the perfect time for you to write your music? Like, I just want you to play with the idea of like, what if I am meant to do this? Like, what if this is the thing that is meant to not only give me the life I want, but it's the thing that I actually came here to do, and now is the perfect time, and I'm exactly who I need to be so that I can bring this idea to life. And like, what if I don't need to know the very next step? What if I don't need to be aware of the payoff of how good this could be if I do it, or if nothing even comes of it? What if the work, even though I'm unsure if it's working for me, what if the work is working on me? All work works. My mentor always said, all work works. And if the work isn't working for you, it is working on you. And so what if taking action and being creative and sitting your butt down and just saying, okay, I accept, I will create, was the thing that was going to give you the life and the career you always wanted? I don't know about you guys, but I just feel so much better when I change my mindset around like that. And it just gives me like the possibility and the permission slip that so many of us wait for. The possibilities truly are endless, and you really won't know unless you ever try. And I just want to really put things into perspective for you and share a story of a woman we all know by the name of J.K. Rowling. Guys, J.K. Rowling, she's the author of Harry Potter, which we all know has changed our lives in one way or another. I'm not necessarily somebody who read the Harry Potter books. I was not much of a reader growing up, but I did dabble in the books, and I loved loved the movies. And so I know that if you're listening to this podcast, you've heard of Harry Potter. And did you know that J.K. Rowling, when she first started writing the Harry Potter series, she was broke, dead broke. She was a single mom. So she had major responsibilities, okay? She should have been thinking about how she can provide for her children. She should have been working, right? She was rejected by 12 publishers. Hello. So many people told her no. So even more so, the responsible thing she should have done would be like, go get a job, stop daydreaming, stop wasting your time, take care of your kids. Like, I'm just sharing probably what some of the thoughts were going through her mind at this time when she had the idea to create Harry Potter, something that had never been done before. And if she waited to be qualified or to have money or to have permission or have the space or have the time, Harry Potter never would have existed. And J.K. Rowling is one of the highest paid authors of all time. Okay? She is so incredibly successful. She's changed lives of just countless millions of people. And Harry Potter, as we know it, never would have existed. And I don't know about you, but I definitely don't know what my life would have been like, my childhood would have been like, if I didn't have Harry Potter in my life. And so the thing that I want to point out here is that most people wait to feel ready. Most people wait for permission. Most people wait until they feel qualified or have the certification, or they went to college and they got the degree and they feel like the world is asking them for their thing. And newsflash, that ends up being never. Like, it is actually so insane to me how many women I've talked to who have degrees and they will literally spend their entire lives getting all the certifications and they don't use them, versus what's so magical about a PowerFemme. And this is really the difference between like most people and PowerFemmes, I think, is that most people will wait until the world says you're allowed to do that, which never happens, by the way. And then what PowerFemmes do is a PowerFemme creates anyway. Okay? PowerFemmes act when inspiration strikes. PowerFemmes are not afraid of being imperfect. PowerFemmes are not afraid of what other people are going to think of them. And they act while they're scared, and they show up messy and they show up imperfectly, because as a PowerFemme, you know this one thing. And this has been the thing that has literally changed my freaking life, and I know it'll change yours too. PowerFemmes know that the most important thing is making it exist and then perfecting it later. By the way, you guys, I decided I am going to share what I've been working on. I'll share what I can. There's not much that I can say about it right now, because I do believe that there's something sacred about your art and you don't ever want to overshare. And I just don't want to share too much before it's too soon. But what I can tell you is that I have been really trying on my identity as a writer. And I was recently approached to write on a very creative dream project. And I have to tell you, when this project came to me, I have to show you how I literally resisted it like crazy. And this is something that like every single artist does. So like if this is you, this probably means that you're an artist. We will fight like hell to not create. We will fight like hell to not sit down and do the thing. We will literally say, oh, I'm not a writer, but like, here's somebody else. And that's actually, in fact, that's exactly what happened to me. I was approached by some very people who I respect very deeply, and they asked me if I would write this project. And my immediate reaction was, that is a genius idea. I love where you're going with it. I'm not a writer. I'm not qualified to do this. I also don't know if I have the time to work on something like this. I would love to be a part of it. And in fact, I know the perfect person who can help you with this project. And I literally was like, I will give you her name and her number right now. I'll text her right now. And I pulled out my phone. I was getting ready to contact the person who I was literally going to hand my blessing to without realizing it. I didn't even realize. I was like, this is my blessing. This is my opportunity. This is my lesson in life. There's blessings in the lessons, right, guys? And I didn't even see this resistance as it was unfolding right in front of me. So I pulled my phone out. I was getting ready to text this person who I was going to literally hand my blessing to. And the person who approached me said, no. I talked to so-and-so and like we decided that you literally have to write it. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? I'm literally not a writer. Like, what do you mean I have to write it? And, you know, I have written things in the past. I don't have any published works of art. You know, I write for a newsletter that I have called PowerFemme Social. I've written a few pilots in the past, which, like, a pilot is a first episode of a TV show. Never actually finished, but I have had like a few different pilots that I have written, and I have a book that I never finished, and like I have things that I've written, but like I've never finished anything. So like I'm not somebody who like identifies as a writer. Like, what do you mean? And she was like, I know, but you have to write it. Like, I just feel very strongly that it has to be you. And literally, you guys, the way I resisted it, I mean, for weeks and weeks and weeks, I even did end up contacting the person who I thought was more qualified than me. And I was like, hey, like, I'm going to find a way to get you involved with this project because like they want me to write it, but like, I know that you're such a good writer. So like, let's just work together. And the more I did that, the more the people who approached me were like, you really need to stop reaching out to other people and like just accept that you have to write this project. Finally, I just decided like, okay, it became very, very clear to me that this was the thing that I needed to do. And it was such a good idea. And I even shared it with somebody and they were like, oh my God, that's genius. And like when I saw the reaction that other people had to this idea, I realized what a gift it was to be chosen to be asked to write something like this. And I realized, like, when I zoomed out a little bit, just how aligned it could be. And I thought, maybe I will give this thing a try. But the first thing that I realized is that, like, this has been a deeply spiritual journey, and your connection to God will become so deep the moment you face your resistance, the moment you say yes to the art. Like, it is going to strengthen your faith. It is going to be a constant conversation with God where you're like, what do you want me to do? Am I the vessel? Like, I'll be the vessel. Okay. I literally don't know how to do this. And it's been a constant, like, living in the revealing. Like, when you finally do accept that you are a creator, and you accept your blessings, and you accept that you're going to have to learn your lessons along the way, that's when you can really live in the revealing and just allow life to reveal itself to you. I've realized it's like just a massive surrender, and it's a massive letting go of control. And what's even wild is, like, I still, as I have been writing this project and have created some magic, I still like can't even take ownership of it. I'm just, as a creator, we're a vessel, and it's a responsibility to say yes. There's so much power in picking up the pen and putting your butt in the chair. And so I just want you guys to just trust that your ideas are so sacred. This episode is sponsored by Glow-C, aka my favorite drinkable skincare ritual. Glow-C is packed with collagen, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, and vitamin C to help smooth your skin, support your gut, boost hydration, and keep your glow game strong. It's not like other hydration powders that are basically salt and sugar in disguise. Glow-C has probiotics, and it's literally skincare you can drink. No pills, no complicated routines, just glowing skin on the go. So you can spend less time stressing and more time showing up and chasing your dreams. I drink Glow-C every morning before workouts, after flights, on long shoot days. It's a non-negotiable part of my PowerFemme routine. And because consistency is everything, I subscribe, so it's always stocked and always supporting my glow. Go to getglowc.com/PowerFemme and use code PowerFemme to get 15% off your first month subscription. Ready to finally have glowing skin? Subscribe to Glow-C and show up as your most confident self. That's code PowerFemme for 15% off your first month. One more time for the girls in the back, use code PowerFemme at checkout. Glow-C is a daily beauty supplement and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any conditions. Another thing that I've been doing to overcome the resistance that immediately came up the moment I was approached with this was I've been so committed to meeting with my life coach. Like, every other week I am meeting with her, and I highly recommend doing something like this. Like, if you notice that you're having creative blocks or resistance, I can't recommend enough hiring somebody and literally paying them to hold space for you. I have personally worked with so many life coaches over the years. It's been worth every penny. It's been worth every single second, every minute that I have invested into working with a coach, because it's helped me uncover a confidence within me that I just cannot even describe. And I know that that's possible for you too. Working with a coach, a creativity coach, a therapist, a life coach, like whatever you end up doing, it is so much better than talking about your ideas with your friends. Something that happens with creatives is we talk a lot. And that is a form of resistance. Instead of just talking about it, like we need to really be about it. We need to pick up the pen and like just write and like stop talking about how great it's going to be, just actually create it. And I literally have clients who have done this too. They're just talking about how great their book is going to be, talking about how great their podcast is going to be. And it's like the thing that you have to do is you actually have to hit record. You just have to sit down and like let your work speak for itself. And I know how hard it is. Like, trust me, I literally know how hard it is, especially as I've been in this season of confronting it myself. And it's so special to be able to have a safe space for me to work out my creative ideas and talk to a person who's not going to invalidate me, suggest I be more realistic, give me their ideas. Like, you are the vessel. Like, I can't say it enough. And so you just don't want any outside like opinions. And what's beautiful about working with a coach is like they just hold the mirror for you and they give you the space to really work out your creativity. And if you're somebody who like feels like you're needing permission, it's just beautiful to work with a coach, because it does kind of feel like they give you the permission. And I have to say, like, just one piece of advice from working with my coach literally unlocked 30 pages of writing for me over the course of a weekend. And that's more than I've ever gotten done in such a short period of time. It really helped me overcome what I fear stopped me for far longer than I'd like to admit. And working with a coach has been a complete and total game changer. So in addition to like deepening my spiritual connection with God and like trusting that art is spiritual, and then in addition to working with a coach who's going to hold the mirror for me and like kind of hold my hand, to be completely honest, I was randomly on LinkedIn and I came across a post from one of my husband's mentors. I don't have a bunch of husbands. My husband's mentor. He has a few mentors. This was one of his mentors. And his name is Jesse Itzler. If you don't know who Jesse Itzler is, you may know him as Sarah Blakely's husband. If you don't know who Sarah Blakely is the founder of Spanx, you know, that underwear you put on every dress to keep you nice and tight and looking good. Anyways, Sarah Blakely is like a huge, huge idol for me. And she is married to an incredibly successful entrepreneur. His name is Jesse Itzler. And just to give him like a little bit of credibility, a quick Google search. Jesse Itzler is actually known for his career as a serial entrepreneur. He co-founded Marquis Jet and Zico Coconut Water. We've all seen Zico Coconut Water in the grocery stores. He's a motivational speaker and he's the author of several books. He has a music background as a former rapper and a producer. He's also known for his accomplishments as an ultra marathon runner and helping other people find their inner drive through annual events that he hosts. That's actually how my husband found him. My husband's a marathon runner and that's how he kind of got like linked into his world. So I love that he loves Jesse and I love Sarah. They're married. We're married. It's cute. Anyways, he also is a co-owner of the Atlanta Hawks. So the guy is very successful and I highly recommend you follow him, but he's one of the people that I randomly follow on LinkedIn. And Jesse Itzler made a post talking about how committing to your art or your craft or like whatever skill you want to develop, committing to it for just 17 minutes a day will make you better than 99% of other people. So just committing to your goals for 17 minutes a day puts you in the top 1% of people in that industry or that arena. And as I read that, I thought to myself, 17 minutes a day, like that's literally it. And this was when I was just starting to try on my new identity as a writer and I was scared and I like didn't think I could do it. And I have to tell you, seeing that post came at the perfect time because I was like, I might not be the best writer in the world. I might not have published works of art. I might not, feel qualified or ready. But what I can do is I can sit down for 17 minutes every day and practice writing. Like I can just try for 17 minutes. I mean, you have 17 minutes that you can get back. I know how easy it is to scroll on TikTok for an hour and you're like, wow, that time went by so fast. And I just want you to imagine how proud you could feel of yourself if you took that time instead of scrolling mindlessly and actually intentionally sat down and put that time towards your book. Like it might not take you years to write your book. It might only take you a weekend. It might only take you a few days of just following this 17-minute rule. And so from that moment forward, I decided, I was like, that's it. I'm putting 17 minutes on my calendar and every single day I will write for 17 minutes. I don't care if I create the shittiest piece of art. I don't care if I write the shittiest thing ever. As long as I write for 17 minutes, I will feel successful. And what I found happening was not only did keeping that commitment to myself really increase my confidence, it allowed me to say, yes, I am a writer, because what do writers do? We write. What do runners do? You run. What do actors do? They act. What do teachers do? They teach, right? And so if you can commit to 17 minutes of doing that every single day, then you become the thing that you desire to be. And what I found was happening every single time I sat down for 17 minutes, I would say, I can set the timer for 17 more minutes. And then I would set the timer for 17 more minutes. And then I would set the timer for 17 more minutes. And what started out as just 17 minutes a day turned into hours upon hours upon hours of writing and really actually creating some not too shabby stuff, actually pretty good stuff that I was actually really proud of, and my confidence really went through the roof. And so that's one of the things that I want you to commit to today is 17 minutes on your calendar every day, working on your craft. It doesn't matter what it is. I cannot encourage it enough because it will yield results. It's not a massive commitment that you have to make. It's a very micro commitment that leads to big results. And if you're hearing me say this and you're like, no way, Heidi, I don't have 17 minutes a day. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Where can you reclaim 17 minutes? What's one bad habit you could let go of? What's one habit that you could replace? What's a show that you could stop watching? When are you scrolling? Can you stop scrolling then? You have 17 minutes a day. I know maybe you have a full-time job. I know maybe you feel like it's irresponsible to spend 17 minutes a day doing something. You can do it. Everybody has 17 minutes a day. We all have the same amount of time. There's time, and then there's what you do with your time. And it really is up to you. I promise you, if you commit to 17 minutes a day, you will get more done than you have in years. You will be like, what was I wasting my time doing? And this will be a game changer for you, I promise. The thing I want you to take away from today is that your ideas are so sacred, and maybe it feels like a really big lift. Maybe it feels heavy and it feels impossible, and there's imposter syndrome, and there are all these reasons for you not to do the thing. But the thing that I want you to take away is that it doesn't have to be that hard. We make it so much harder than it has to be. And it does not have to be that hard. And your ideas are so sacred. They were given to only you for a reason. And you'll be lucky if you get to create it before somebody else does, because that's what's going to happen. If you don't act on your ideas, if you don't make them just exist, you can make it perfect later. If you don't make it exist, it will die inside of you, or somebody else will create it. And that is the hard truth. If all you did was take from this episode was that, okay, I'm going to make shitty art today. That has literally been my mantra. As this project that I've been working on has grown into something, and it actually has legs, and it's this incredible work of art that I'm so proud of. If all you do is start taking action and just start showing up every single day, I promise you, you're going to be so proud of yourself, and you will see that this was all given to you for a reason. The reason that it was given to you will reveal itself to you. And it's truly so magical. You will find that you literally are actually so much more talented than you thought. And you're good. And 99% of people just don't even make it exist. You have such an advantage just by making it exist first. And you can make it perfect later. You can edit later. Make it exist. That is the hardest part. So that's my challenge for you today. I want you to set a timer for 17 minutes. Turn off every single distraction and just make something exist, okay? Write, paint, hit record, reach out to that person, build your business. Even if no one ever sees it, you must create and do it for 17 minutes, okay? Even if it's messy, even if it's ugly, even if it's shitty, just do it and watch how your energy shifts and your confidence compounds, and like just see how your identity literally up levels just from choosing to take action. By the way, if you are somebody who is craving a safe space to bring your ideas to life, I completely understand. It is so important to have somebody who can hold you accountable and help you move through resistance and really unlock what is dying to come out of you and what has been sitting on your heart. And so if that's you, that's exactly why I became a life coach. That's exactly what I do with my one-on-one clients. One conversation can literally unlock everything. So I'm going to put a link in the show notes for those creatives who are feeling a little bit stuck, who feel like they just need an opinion or need help developing an idea a little bit further. So the link to book a one-on-one session is in the show notes. And I just want to say that I'm so incredibly proud of you. And I know that you listened to this specific episode for a reason. Whatever's on your heart, it's begging you to create it. And I know that it can be easier than you think. So I'm so proud of you. Let's make your ideas exist and we'll make them perfect later. DM me after your 17 minutes today so I can know what you created. And I just want you to know that I am celebrating you. I'm rooting for you. I'm pulling for you. I'm so proud of you, PowerFemme. Keep going.